A little over 7 years ago, I met my best friend. I had just moved here from Canada and was about to start fourth grade. I was scared and nervous, wondering if people would want to talk to me. My first day of school had arrived, and one of the first people to talk to me was JOrY. He greeted me with open arms, and from that point on, we became best friends. That friendship showed to last even after 3 years of not talking to each other through middle school. Our friendship was stronger after a few days of talking to each other after the first tryout training than it was after the last day we talked to each other before middle school. During freshman year on the band bus, him and I would always listen to the Pokemon theme song and Saxman while singing the lyrics to both. There wasn't one bus ride that we didn't sit next to each other and sing our hype-up songs to get us ready to perform. Sophomore year was a blast with JOrY. We made wind ensemble and were extremely excited to perform with an amazing group. That year we went to CMEA, or the Colorado Music Educators Association, to perform in front of some amazing educators in the state. From the beginning of the year, we had been practicing and working hard in order to have an amazing performance, which we did. But after the performance, we went back to our room to change and pack up our belongings, when all of a sudden, JOrY grabs a recorder that he brought and goes into the bathroom. The bathrooms at the hotel had a little window that opened to see the beds. JOrY was in the bathroom for about a few minutes before he opens the windows and starts playing Careless Whisper on the recorder that he brought in only his underwear and his suit jacket. We were crying from laughter and smiled so wide that our cheeks hurt. It was because of times like this that JOrY can make anyone laugh and forget about their worries, even if it was only for a few minutes. For our junior year of marching band, we were extremely excited to be section leaders together and have the most fun year so far. There were countless memories that we made together over the summer. Whether it was from marching band rehearsals to sectionals with the saxophones, there were many memories that will last for our lifetime. Such as the time when we would play a low B flat or the lowest note on our instruments and put the bells together to make a monstrous, crazy sound. We made sure that all the people in our section had fun and that we all felt like a family, because in the end, we were a family that shared laughs and stories together and would always be there for each other. I know JOrY smiling down on all of us, playing his saxophone with all of his heart, just like he has always done. And I never want him to stop playing the instruments that he loved, because one day when I join him, I want to be able to play music with him for everyone to hear. JOrY was a great person, an amazing friend, but an even better brother. Rest easy, JOrY, and never forget, I will always love you like a brother with all of my heart.
Today, I will be speaking on behalf of all of us up here, our group, which we like to call our squad, of which JOrY was very much a part of. We all knew JOrY very well. Although he was a woodwind player, we were all brass players. We treated him exactly the same. In fact, most of us only became friends with JOrY about 2 years ago during the cruise on the Rose Parade trip, and little did we know that he would quickly become a brother to us, because we treated him like a brother and he treated us like one. We had fun with him like one, we fought with him like one, and we loved him like one. And I can undoubtedly say that we are forever grateful for that. As many of you know, JOrY was an outstanding musician. He played several different instruments in the marching band, wind ensemble, jazz band, and mountain range winter percussion. And JOrY absolutely loved making music and playing music for other people. He would often express to us his taste for new music, and he liked talking about the pieces we were playing at the time. JOrY would also play piano and sing for us often, but never finished the songs because a couple of the piano keys at the COATES house stopped working. JOrY was also very welcoming to anybody that talked to him, as many of you know, quickly making new friendships with him. Every time he saw me in particular, he'd always shout my name, due to this running joke that we had, and he would do it in the form of a question, and it'd be like, Owen? Owen? So, he got along with everyone because everyone enjoyed being around him, and he was always able to reciprocate that feeling. In fact, a couple years ago, he happened to invite me to his birthday party, and I had absolutely no idea why, as we weren't even that close at all. It wasn't until this past summer that I found out why he invited me one night at Tony's house. We were going around discussing interesting things about ourselves, and I brought up the conversation of that party, and his answer was, he thought I was cool. And that's when I realized how true of a friend he actually was. Every time any one of us ever hung out with him, he always made it more fun. For JOrY was an exceptionally curious and adventurous person. For all of you that don't know, our group, or squad, is extremely special. We are all here for each other and support each other through almost anything, whether it be at home, at school, or with girls. This is something that JOrY expressed deeply, for he taught us how to be there for each other. Secondly, we poke fun at each other whenever we can, just as any group should do. And thirdly, we go on very random adventures all the time exploring whatever we want to our heart's content. From swimming in the winter, to Sam and JOrY throwing gingerbread houses out into the street, to JOrY solving the piano tile clue in our escape room. We had quite a lot of adventures with JOrY. Our main place to go and eat would be pho, and JOrY loved to go to pho all the time. It was one of his absolute favorite places. After dinner, we would either go home, go somewhere random, or we usually ended up staying at one of our houses on a special night that we had planned. These would consist of nights such as Secret Santa, LAN parties playing video games, or even made-up nights such as Ghost Night, where everything we did was horror-based. And these nights, I believe I can say for all of us, are the nights we enjoyed the most, because we didn't have to worry about anything, and we truly got to know each other, especially JOrY. These are simply a few of the many adventures that we had the privilege to experience with such an amazing friend. JOrY truly left a legacy on all of us, for he never regretted what he did. He was always content with his decisions, and because of this, I know that he will rest peacefully. For as Leonardo da Vinci stated, as a well-spent day brings happy sleep, so a life well spent brings happy death. We all deeply miss our friend, our classmate, our student, our brother, and our son. To us, our adventures will never be the same without him. However, I know that he would want us to keep being curious. He would still want us to laugh, to be goofy, and to enjoy ourselves. And he would definitely want us to keep adventuring and exploring what most people only dream of doing. Thank you.
I'd like to share with you a piece by Gustav Mahler, and JOrY would have liked Mahler a lot if it had more saxophone in it. Let me read to you the translation, and you'll see why I chose this piece. The title is called Ulicht, or Primeval Light. O little red rose, man lies in greatest need, man lies in greatest pain. Even more would I rather be in heaven. There I came upon a broad path. There came an angel and wanted to turn me away. Ah, no, I would not be turned away. I am from God and want to return to God. The loving God will give me a light, will illuminate me to the eternal blessed light.
JOrY was an incredible little brother. From a very young age, we both took interest in similar things and loved spending time together. As his older brother, I was able to see how much he grew as a person, especially recently. I was his section leader his freshman year, and it was a pleasure to see how much he grew to love the band program. Since I've graduated, this love has only grown stronger. Now he's the saxophone section leader in Wind Ensemble and being accepted in honor bands, and I can confidently say he's a better saxophone player than I ever was. Even as he grew, there were still so many things that remained the same. I have fond memories of us playing Pokemon on our Game Boys at ages 7 and 10, and I will never forget how many times we went out to go play Pokemon Go with members of the squad this summer. JOrY was an extremely passionate human being, and he would give his all to everything he cared about. And he was always there for me whenever I needed it. He always knew if something was going on, or if I needed someone to talk to. And he was always there to make me smile or laugh. If I could have the mountain range symbols come up, I'm not sure where you guys are sitting. I guess over there. All right, JOrY had a significant impact not only on the Legacy Band program, but also at Mountain Range Winter Percussion. JOrY was in the ensemble his freshman year, where he started out playing marimba. He played cymbals the following year and is going to be part of the line for the upcoming 2017 season. I am the current cymbal tech at Mountain Range. You guys can go ahead and do it right now if you want. I'm the current cymbal tech for Mountain Range for the 2017 season, and I was excited to teach JOrY one of the activities that we had both grown to love. The spot JOrY earned on the cymbal line will remain vacant in his remembrance. Mountain Range Percussion is also planned to include several smaller tributes to JOrY in their 2017 show, such as the one you see next to me. JOrY had a lasting impact on everyone he encountered in life, and he'll always be loved and remembered.
I'm Michael. I was JOrY's pastor when he was a kid here at Life, and Mike and Elsa, his parents, have asked me to read their statement on on their behalf. Our precious JOrY let us know he was coming on the morning of June 14th, 2000. How polite of him to wait just one day after our 8th anniversary, allowing Mike and I to celebrate with a nice dinner date the night before. JOrY was such a happy baby. He rarely cried, and in the mornings, instead of being woken up by a crying baby, we would enter his room and find him quietly playing in his crib, content as he could be. It became apparent at a very early age that JOrY was a very social kid. We took the boys to Ranch Park quite often, and if there was just one other kid there, JOrY was talking and playing with him or her as if being reunited with a best friend. JOrY assumed everyone he met was his friend. As a toddler, JOrY spent most of his time with Amy and Jonathan and, of course, Brady. He came to Awana right here at this church where Miss Connie, Miss Julie, Miss Cherie, Mr. Mark, Mr. Brad, and Mr. Doug all guided him to love the Lord Jesus and to trust him as his Savior. Our 4 families have been bound together in love and by the Lord. Sean, Seth, Allie, Ashley, and Aaron quickly turned from friends to brothers and sisters. These families have been with us every day this past week, holding us up, never letting us fall. At age 4, JOrY attended Rainbow Tree Preschool. Killian and Audrey were his best friends there, and these 3 would continue to make memories together all the way to high school and marching band. Ms. Shannon and Ms. Patty Sue easily became a part of his mommy club. We will never forget Care Bear birthday parties and McDonald's drive-through play dates. The Wood family and the Femright family will always be part of our best memories of JOrY. At 5, he began kindergarten at Cotton Creek Elementary School with Miss Kasowitz. It was here that we all learned that JOrY liked to talk a lot. At every conference, we would hear that he was progressing well academically, but he was overly talented in the social area. I'm sure his friends and teachers now are not at all surprised to hear this. His friends from elementary school, Joe, Ian, Sam, Austin, all remarkable young men, have been a comfort to us in our loss. His love for music became apparent at age 6. Ms. Lori and Mrs. Gesicki, I hope I got that right, both fostered his music education through piano and choir. We will forever be grateful to these ladies as JOrY always brought music into our home. JOrY attended middle school at Westlake. Yes, his overly social, talkative personality blossomed there too. He learned to play saxophone under the guidance of Mr. Gill. His love for band paralleled his brothers as Brady began marching band at Legacy at this same time. We are so thankful to Mr. Gill for helping JOrY build his confidence in performing music. Many of JOrY's current friends have been his bandmates since 6th grade. For most, high school begins at age 14 or 15, in August or September. For JOrY, high school began in April of his 14th year on the Legacy marching field. He was invited to try it out at the end of 8th grade, and he was immediately taken in by the band's leadership team and the watchful eye of Mr. Stansberry. He will be forever bonded with his class of 2018, who as freshmen marched in the Pasadena Tournament of Roses Parade on New Year's Day 2015. It was the year that his big brother was his section leader. It was the year that his big sister Ronnie took him under her wing. It was also the year that the squad began to form. He loves you guys so much. Memories of grape jello throwing, snowy Estes Park hikes, and gingerbread house smashing will always make us smile. This was also the year that JOrY became a part of another family, the Mountain Range Percussion Ensemble. They welcomed him with open arms and made him one of their own. Thank you, Lisa and Lynn, Nate and Jen, for all you taught JOrY. We are so grateful to our Mountain Range High School band boosters for adopting us into their family. JOrY met his love, Bree, his sophomore year. Together, they were goofy and fun and just plain adorable. They were so well suited for each other. JOrY loved spending all of his free time just being with her. He recently began working at Jimmy John's so that he would have his own spending money for sushi dates at Hanamatsuri with his sweet Bree. We love Bree and her family as if she was our own daughter. In the spring of his sophomore year, JOrY, along with his best friend Austin, were chosen as saxophone section leaders. They worked together all through the summer to bond this very young and large section together and prepare them for the fall marching season. And every Friday this past summer, the saxophones came over to our house to practice music, marching, and to hang out at our pool. We have had neighbors ask us, "Are you the saxophone house?" I will miss having the sound of band kids playing saxophones in our backyard. Not Enough Aquariums, his jazz quartet, played their first paid gig last summer. Sean, Elijah, and Connor worked so hard with JOrY to prepare a repertoire for Boston Attorney's wedding in Fort Collins. We are so proud of how these young men showcased their talent and professionalism in their music. Junior year, JOrY hit his stride as a musician. He continued working with JD, JOrY likes to call him Dr. Little, to sharpen and perfect his saxophone skills. He won his third state championship, along with 225 of his bandmates, just over a month ago. He is a member of the jazz band at Legacy and just performed beautiful solos with them last month. He auditioned and became first chair in the wind ensemble at Legacy, who just performed for us 9 days ago, and were well on their way to perfecting their literature for their trip to Indiana in March. He had just begun rehearsing and preparing for his third season with the Mountain Range High School Winter Percussion Ensemble with his big brother as his instructor and tech. He was looking forward to performing with the Adams 12 District Honor Band next month. He was looking forward to performing with a duet with Bree and a duet with Austin and with Not Enough Aquariums in the Spring Solo Ensemble. He was looking forward, He was looking forward to performing with the jazz band at Nisi's. He was looking forward to traveling to Ireland in 2018 to march in the St. Patrick's Day Parade in Dublin his senior year. On December 3rd, JOrY's earthly goals came to an abrupt end. We feel sadness and sorrow because we won't be able to see him accomplish these goals. However, what we want you to know is that JOrY's greatest dreams and his best goals were never meant to be reached here on earth. 2 Timothy chapter 4 says, "I have fought the good fight. I have finished